Welcome to Nevertheless, a show dedicated to organic leaders and leaderpreneurs. Today, you will discover how to discern your essence and live powerful.
Hello guys, and welcome to the Nevertheless show. My name is Bidemi Mark-Mordi, and this is Tribe Takeover show. What that means is, as I announced last week, this show will be done in collaboration with two members of my tribe who sent in their entry, sharing their story and just generally talking about what their platform is about, and in the process giving us some tips on how to run our own platforms by ourselves. Today I'll be doing the show with Okpe Malomo, who blogs at lettersofhope.org.uk, and Njideka Ralike Obiora, who is the host of the Eminent Women radio show and runs a page on Facebook known as the Eminent Women Talk Tuesday group. But these ladies have been mentees in a while, and I'm excited at their growth. But I promise you that I didn't specifically ask them to do this. They were the ones who thought that this was useful to them. And I must tell you, even without mincing words, that just listening to their recordings, even I have learned something, and at least I got reminded of a lot of things that I talk about. So don't go away today. Onto this show, we have members from the other divide talking to us. And what today's highlight is for me is the fact that it doesn't matter how small your piece of the earth is just yet, you have a message, and you must be proud of your message, and you must arise in your own voice and make sure that that message is done. As I record this, I'm in Switzerland getting ready for the Sister Power gathering holding in Zurich this weekend. And one of the things I can tell you for free is that these things that you see are happening around me are happening because over 16 years ago, I put my hand to the plow to do this. I must tell you that when I started, I wasn't even sure of where I was going. I had no direction beyond my first step. But the absolute truth is I was very sure of my first step. And in taking that first step, I've taken another step and another step and another step. And it just seems like it's getting better on a daily basis. I'm excited for the life that I have, but I also will not forget to tell you that this life is a very hard working life. It's a life where you have to keep at your game. You have to continually grow if you will make it. But before I get into today's show proper, let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll be looking at some housekeeping issues that we need to deal with. Please don't go away.
From the moment of conception through the period of gestation, then comes the final push. A new dream is born. Ladies, it's your time of delivery at the Return of the Helper Conference 2016. Come meet God's anointed servant as they help you midwife your dreams in the womb of the Holy Ghost. Theme: The Birthing Stool. Date is Saturday, 16 July 2016. Venue is the Elevation Church, 3 Remiolo Wude Way, Lekki Phase 1, Lagos. Time is 9 a.m. Ministry: Pastor Mayokun Oriofe, Coach Anna McCoy, Linda Wallace, and Bidemi Mark-Mordi. Register for free on www.returnofthehelper.com.ng. Roth 2016. It's your season of delivery.
Welcome back. is still the Nevertheless show, and I said we would take a look at some housekeeping issues. What's the biggest housekeeping issue on my mind today? It is the return of the Helper Conference. The return of the Helper Conference. Between the last show and this show, quite a number of you have registered, but we have not filled our quota yet, which means you can still register. So if you have not registered for the return of the Helper Conference, ladies and guys, if your wives and your sisters and your girlfriends and fiancés have not registered, you want to send them the link, www.returnofthehelper.com.ng. It's a free event, but registration is absolutely necessary. Why do you need to register? You need to register because it will afford us the opportunity to prepare ahead for you, so that when you come, you are comfortable. So please hurry up to the website, returnofthehelper.com.ng, and register. I look forward to seeing you. Our speaker lineup is powerful. We have Dr. Linda Wallace coming from the United States. We have Dr. Anna McCoy coming from Dallas, Texas in the United States. We have Pastor Mayo Ponreofe coming from the Victoria Spring Women's Ministry coming. And then of course you have me there. But I tell you, this is the 9th edition, and Return of the Helper has never been this good. So make your plans, clear your Saturdays, and make sure you're there. The date is July 16th, 2016. And you know what? It's also my birthday. So if you have been thinking, what can I get this woman? Just show up there that day, and that will be more than enough birthday present for me. Now, let's hear what Dr. Linda Wallace has to say about the Return of the Helper Conference and what God will do on that day. I'll be right back.
My name is Dr. Linda Wallace, and I'm so excited to be coming to Nigeria for the Return of the Helper 2016 conference, July 16th. I'll be joining my sister Bidemi Mark-Mordi and her dynamic team of women. This year's conference will be absolutely pivotal as we learn about the birthing stool and how it can impact our world to align with heaven. Please join me along with my sister, Dr. Anna McCoy from Dallas, Texas. This is heaven's invitation to apostolic mothers and women across Nigeria as we position ourselves for a new era. Like in the book of Judges, Deborah arose as a mother. She had a direct connection to the wisdom of God, and through her alignment with heaven and relationships with other women, she brought transformation to her nation. The birthing stool will release through us the Father's perspective, encounters with the love of Jesus, and the ministry of the Holy Spirit. We will accelerate in our authority, influence, and power to advance the kingdom of heaven. Return of the Helper 2016, the birthing stool, July 16th. Meet us there. It's going to be an encounter like no other.
Welcome back. Now that we have Dr. Linda's message in the bag, let's hear what Opemalomo sent in about lettersofhope.org.uk and the work that she's working.
Hi, my name is Opemalomo, and I blog at lettersofhope.org.uk. I actually only started blogging probably about 2-3 months ago, and it stemmed from a book I've just released, also called Letters of Hope. The book was actually written for children between the ages of 9 to 14, and it was basically to deal with the challenges of life that they face as a bereaved child, and so dealing with things like loneliness, craving for love, and being angry with God or with people around you, states of confusion and being afraid, so fear of dying, all of these issues I kind of talk through in my book. But I realized once I released the book that it wasn't just children that were benefiting from this book. I've had a lot of feedback from adults, especially adults that went through childhood bereavement. So the feedback has been from both young adults as well as children, and even older adults that are mature, but they felt like they could relate to the book, and it kind of expressed the how they felt about their bereavement, the way they've not been able to express their feelings about it. This was an avenue to be able to do so and to understand that somebody else has walked in their path and has experienced the same thing they've experienced. So that kind of encouraged me to write a lot more, and so I started blogging, one, to kind of expand on the topics that I'd covered in my book, and also to maybe share more of my story, because I find that when people can relate to you, they're able to open up more to you, and you can be of greater service to them. So I started blogging probably about 2-3 months ago, and some of the issues I've covered so far have been being a parent, having lost my mother when I was young. And so yes, actually the book is based on my personal experience of being orphaned myself. So I lost my mom quite young, when I was 11, and my dad when I was 6. But then throughout my bereavement journey, God has really been there for me. He has met me at every single point of my need. And yes, there have been challenges, there have been difficulties, but I have looked to Him. And even when I've not even been consistent in my faith, and I've not been faithful to Him, He has remained faithful to me. So I've now come to a point in my life where I feel like I need to give back to others, especially those who are younger, those who are dealing with the same thing I had dealt with in the past, those who have just started their bereavement journey. I want to be able to relate to them and give them the support that they need. Obviously, I'm still walking my path, and there are challenges that I haven't faced before. Like, I've just become a parent, and so this is something that I haven't dealt with before as a motherless mother. But I felt like that the issues that I've overcome in the past, certainly I can share that with the younger generation, and which is why I've started blogging, and also this is why I've written a book, to relate to others and to offer support. So in addition to this, I also support a number of charities, a number of bereavement charities, financially, and I've also worked with in workshops just to kind of help the children express themselves in how they're feeling, and to be able to offer them guidance in whatever challenges they're facing at home or even at school. And I would say that this has only just been ignited in me in the last year or so. Prior to this, my focus, or really my goal, has been really encouraging everybody, or encouraging anyone. I enjoy that. I feel fulfilled when I do that, and I know that I'm glorifying God in doing that. This past few months, my calling has shifted more towards bereaved children, or anyone that has gone through bereavement. And it's been liberating knowing that I'm making a difference to somebody's life. I also write on Facebook. I have an Instagram page where I post images for people to kind of meditate on Bible verses that can get them through their day and encourage them in whatever challenges they're facing throughout the day. And just getting feedback from people confirms to me that yes, I'm walking in purpose, I'm making a difference, and above all, God is glorified, which is the ultimate thing, really. So I'm excited about the future, I'm excited about what God has in plan for me, but I'm more convinced than ever that I'm walking in purpose for my life, because I am making a difference and I feel fulfilled in what I'm doing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Okwe, for your entry. It was fantastic. I'm grateful you took the time to send in this entry, and I'm absolutely impressed by what it is that you do. The first thing that I saw, listening to Okwe, the first thing that occurred to me listening to Okwe is the fact that every one of us has a story. And your story doesn't have to come with bells and whistles to matter. But your story also doesn't have to be all happy to matter. Whatever your story is, if you take 2 steps back, you can find 3 things within your story. The first thing is that it is a story that, if you walk properly with, will fulfill you. The second thing you'll find is that your story, when you properly tell it, will impact other people. And the third thing that you will find in telling your story is that God gets the glory. Now, if you remember what I have said about purpose before, this is living a life of purpose. So if Okwe is not doing anything at all, she is living a life of purpose, and that is worth celebrating. So congratulations, Okwe, on finding out what you are good for. I was telling someone 2 days ago that purpose is beyond what they are good at. Purpose is what you are good for. And certainly Okpe has found what she is good for. What are the things we can learn just by that 5 minutes or less than 5 minute entry that Okpe sent to us? The first thing that you will find is that Okpe has a goal for her life. She says, I want to work with bereaved children. And she started by writing a book, and then from writing a book she started to blog. As a matter of fact, the results that Okpe is getting are amazing. And you know the funny thing, I have read Okpe's book. Okpe's book is not a volume of 300 pages. It's a mini book. But a mini book that's captured the essence of her life and the things she's been through. And because of that, she's on her path to greatness. So Okpe has a clearly defined goal. You can't begin to say, I want to live a life of purpose if you are not clear. Like I said, when I started my journey, I was clear of the first step. You just need to be clear of the first step. Every other thing will reveal itself as you go ahead. The other thing that Okpe's entry shows me is that she's not afraid to tell her story. Okpe was orphaned fully at age 11. She lost her father when she was 6, and she lost her mother when she was 11. Now this personal story, or this kind of story, is something that has devastated other people's lives forever. I've seen cases of armed robbers, prostitutes, whose only excuse is because both my parents died. But thankfully, Okpe did not end up like that. But she's very aware of the fact that she could have ended up like that, which is why she's out there, telling her story to encourage other young and vulnerable children so that they can make something out of their life and make meaning out of the hand that life is dealt them. So she's freely sharing her personal story, and that takes a lot. I can assure you that, sometimes just talking about it to someone who is freshly going through it can break your heart all over again. At this point, it is very important for me to celebrate those who stood with Okpe. I know she has older siblings. I know she has family. She had people who took her in and took care of her. Yes, that did not that does not totally erase the stress that she went through, but at least she had people who were there for her. And I personally want to say thank you to those people who helped Okpe stand, and by that extension she is now able to help other people stand. What does that mean? It means that you cannot go this journey alone. Other people would have to walk with you. And talking about other people working with you, I need you to look out for Okpe Malomo and Letters of Hope.org.uk and the things that she does, because I'm going to be working with Okpe for the next half of the year to elevate and enhance what it is that she's doing. So you will see the difference by December of how far you can go when you have someone around you holding your hand. The other thing that I like about Okpe's entry is that Okpe's tribe is clearly identified. She knows the people she wants to work with, and she's not intimidated by all the other people working with other people. And it may look that her niche is narrow, but actually I don't see it as narrow or slim. I see it as focused. And the first thing you want to know about building a platform and living your life on purpose is your niche must be focused. So great work there, Okpe. I know that life thought it's dealt you lemons, but you've made great lemonade by identifying other people who are suffering what you have had to go through. The other thing I saw in Okpe's entry is Okpe had leverage. She wanted to do this, but she didn't sit on her fanny thinking, oh, I will do it. She wasn't talking about it. She wasn't calling committee members to say, this is what I want to do, and hoping that they will tell her how to get it done. She put her pen to paper and she wrote a book. A lot of us don't realize how powerful writing a book can be. Writing a book makes you an expert in very few weeks on the subject matter that you want to talk about. So Okpe has clearly defined, if you notice, she went it the other way. Usually people start to blog before they write a book. But Okpe actually wrote a book before she started to blog, which is powerful. Because what that does is she has the leverage, something to knock doors with. When she comes and she says, oh, I talk to bereaved children, and they say, what's your organization? And she says, Letters of Hope. And they say, I don't know about it. She said, well, I have a book. I can email you the book. I can send you a copy of the book. That is bound to open doors. So if you are listening to this show, what's your leverage? I'm amazed that, last week we announced that you can send in your entry, and the entries are just coming in trickles. It tells me that one of the reasons people have not sent in their entries is they're going about talking about the things they want to do, but they're not able to show something. When we get into the second half of this show, you'll find out that Njideka doesn't even, she's not blogging right now, but she has a group on Facebook. Very vibrant group, because I have been there to share my experiences. So you need to have leverage. What is your calling card? Okpe has that locked down. She has a book. And then the final thing, it's not all the things, but one of the things that jumped at me when I was listening to Okpe's entry is that Okpe is determined to grow. So she's still growing and she's walking towards more. She's not resting on her hours. So one of the things that she mentioned that she's doing, at least to me, I don't know whether she mentioned it in this recording, is that Okpe is now doing at that place where she's merging what she used to do for business and for purpose into one. So that she's not dissipating energies, but she's focused at what it is that she wants to do. So she's learning, she's growing, which is another reason why I will be working with her. Because she's determined to deliver everything that God has put inside of her. Thank you so much, Okpe, for doing this show with me. I am so excited at your journey, and I can't wait to see how far you will go. When I come back, we'll be listening to Njideka, and I'll come back right after that to tell you what it is I have learned from Njideka's entry. Please don't go away.
From the moment of conception through the period of gestation, then comes the final push. A new dream is born. Ladies, it's your time of delivery at the Return of the Helper Conference 2016. Come meet God's anointed servant as they help you midwife your dreams in the womb of the Holy Ghost. Theme: The Birthing Stool. Date is Saturday, 16 July 2016. Venue is the Elevation Church, 3 Remiolo Wude Way, Lekki Phase 1, Lagos. Time is 9 a.m. Ministry: Pastor Mayokun Oriofe, Coach Anna McCoy, Linda Wallace, and Bidemi Mark-Mordi. Register for free on www.returnofthehelper.com.ng. Roth 2016. It's your season of delivery.
Welcome back. It's still the Nevertheless show. My name is Bidemi Mark-Mordi, and this show is for organic leaders and leaderpreneurs. Njideka Raleke Obiora sent in an entry from Eminent Women Radio Show and Eminent Women Talk Tuesday group on Facebook. And I want you to listen to what she has to say. Please don't go away.
Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Njideka Lillian Raleke Obiora. I'm the host of the Eminent Women series on radio, and I'm also the host of the group Eminent Women Talk Tuesday on Facebook. And so what am I going to be talking about today? I'm going to be telling a little bit of my story infused on the topic, Wait Your Process. So I am someone that has a dream, like I would always say, and my vision is rediscovering the essence of womanhood, providing women the tools that they need to become all that they we're made to be. Now, in doing this, I know that I have a lot to learn, because you can't actually give what you don't have. And in also giving this, I know also that I have time to wait to learn all that I can, because I am not only interested in putting out what I think I have, I'm also interested in bringing people into contact with people that are necessary for their becoming what they are made to be. So it's not all about me. I'm like a channel, like I always used to say. I'm a channel to connect people to the right sources to become what they are meant to be in life. And so, looking out in today's world with a lot of things, especially with social media that just exposes you to everything just in the palms of your hand, you see a lot of people doing a lot of things, and it feels like you are, let me use the normal local parlance, you're just dulling, you're just slow. Because you look out there, someone that's your age mate is doing something that you are still dreaming of doing, and you're like, oh my God, let me just start. And then again, you also see someone out there, and because you just got to see them on social media, you really don't know their story, you really don't know their process. And funny enough, these people have walked their process, and they've reached to where they are at the day that you saw them. Not just by waking up and jumping into it, they have walked their process. But the temptation is to just sleep and wake up and become all that they are, have become, or become all that you were meant to be. But each day, with learning the things that I'm learning, with praying and trying to find my feet, with studying and trying to hear God speak to me, and also with following people like Sister Bidemi, Mark-Mordi, and listening to the podcast that she releases every time, I am constantly reminded that there is a process to this journey I am on. Yes, the big picture is what is before me, and I shouldn't let go of the big picture. But you know, before I get to the big picture, there are little dots and pieces that I need to put together. And if I try to override them, I will probably truncate my journey, or even get there, but get there empty and lost and not prepared to be able to be in that place where I am looking to be. So what am I encouraging you to learn alongside me? I'm encouraging everyone to please wait your process. Learn the lessons that you need to learn. Find the knowledge that you need is necessary, that you know that is necessary for where you're going to. Yes, look at people, admire them, but please do not compare yourselves and do not try to be like another person. You can't. In fact, it's not possible. I think what we should all do is wait our process. Always check back with God and the vision that He has made us write down, because I believe that if you're someone that wants to live a life of purpose, you must have written down the vision of what it is that you're pursuing somewhere. So always keep checking back and trying to confirm if you're still in step. And believe me, when your time comes, like I would always say, God can lump in 5 years into 1 year for you. So that's what I have to encourage everyone with, and that's a little bit of my story. I hope it encourages you. Thank you so much, Sister Bidemi, for giving me this opportunity to be part of this. Bye.
That's so powerful, Njideka. Thank you so much for your entry. And quickly, I want to jump into the things that I see that, have helped Njideka on her journey, and how you can take those things as well, or those points, and integrate them to your own journey so that they will be useful to you. Again, Njideka is talking about process. Process is what she's talking about, and she's saying wait for your process. Wait on your process. She has seen that to be able to live a life of purpose solidly, you must work out your process. And that's really powerful, because if you remember, I talk about it a lot. When I talked about what you need to know before you jump into the big pond, I talked to you about waiting the process, learning what it is, where it is that you want to go, knowing where the pitfalls are, where the tension points of your journey journey so that when you get there, you know what to do. Njideka apparently heard that clearly, and she's doing her best to make sure that she doesn't default on that. So girl, you're doing really great. Well done. Another thing that I saw in Njideka's entry is that she has also identified her goal. She said, I want to help women become all that they are called to be. That's really powerful. It is really powerful. Yes, I know she may not be able to help every single woman on earth, but the question is, who can? But at least she knows who her tribe is. She has a goal and she has a tribe. So what that does for her is she's not going to be jumping all around the place trying to do everything that comes her way. She will conserve her energies to focus on where it is that she wants to go. The other thing that Njideka mentioned is that growth can be learned. So the question I want to ask you is, are you learning your growth process? Growth can be learned. That's what she's saying. She said there is peer pressure. It's another very big thing I see. Peer pressure, especially on social media. Everyone comes to show how big their house is. But the thing that I also know about social media is there are a lot of Photoshop people out there. So for you to live a life of purpose, please be careful who you allow to put pressure on you. Please be very careful. Peer pressure is real, and it's not only children that suffer peer pressure. Adults are suffering it. I see it on Facebook a lot of times. So be very careful how you allow other people by what they post gets to you if you want to live a life of purpose. Something else that Njideka mentioned is finding the right mentor, because if you have pressures out there from what other people are doing, you want to also identify those people who are going at what they are doing the proper way so that you don't get in trouble. So identify the right mentor, those who have owned and are working their process. That is key, and she's pointed that out. The next thing she talked about is you need to know the big picture, yes, but don't be distracted from the little details that you come across on a daily basis. Big pictures are made up of tiny, tiny pictures that are spread across time. So make sure that while you have a big picture, that the little step-by-step details are held down by you if you want to live a great life of purpose. Then finally, one of the things, not finally, she also talked about being yourself. Authenticity is the most powerful tool of growing a platform that is solely yours. Authenticity. Are you authentic? Are you real? I sent in a video to my team to post that I took at the airport after about 7 hours on the plane with my eyes all puffy, wearing a jacket because it was cold, my hair all not, properly done, no makeup and everything. That's real. I like to be real. So for you to be able to live a strong life of purpose, make sure that you are real at what it is that you are doing. The final thing I learned from Njideka's 5-minute entry is that you must not forget to examine and re-examine, your journey to ensure that you are still on the right path. You don't just start this journey and continue to run, forgetting that you are going somewhere meaningful. You have to constantly take time back to practice what my mentor John C. Maxwell calls reflective thinking. Come back at the end of your day, come back at the end of your week, come back at the end of a month, come back at the end of a quarter, whatever works for you, and reflect on what you have done. Ask yourself, what have I done? Examine, how have I gotten it done? Who are the people traveling with me? Are they the people I need to be traveling with me? I must tell you that on this journey that we've been, a lot of people claim to be a lot of things. Even for me, I make those mistakes plenty of times in 1 year, where I come across someone and they speak the right words, they posture the right way, only to start a journey with them, and maybe 6 months, 5 months, 3 months, sometimes as short as a month down the line, I begin to see that they are not exactly who they say they are. So re-examination is key. And while there are other people around us who might be trying to pull the wool over our eyes because of what they want to get out of the journey, what about you? Because life can press you and make you step out of your path without even necessarily recognizing that you have stepped out. To be able to examine and re-examine your journey properly, you need people, accountability partners around you. Those who will take a look at your journey and say, this is not going in the direction that you had said you want to go. People who will call you out so that if you're making mistakes, you can quickly correct them. Njideka, I'm so grateful that you sent in this entry. The entries are not closed yet. As a matter of fact, I thought about it today and I said 1 week every month we will open it out for fans or tribe or my tribe to send in entries and do the show with me. So even if you don't have a platform and you want to begin to create one, send us your ideas. Do a 5-minute broadcast, sending us your ideas and where you want to go, and we will share it on this platform. And I can take a look at your ideas and tell you maybe 4 or 5 things you need to do immediately so that you can move forward in your journey. I really want to be able to help you get to where God has put you. After all, that's all I am here to do, to help you discover purpose so that you can live a powerful life. I'm so grateful for all of you who have come. You know, I've especially liked my Facebook page, sent me an email and have said, look, I want to go on this journey with you. But before I go, let me not do you the service of not talking to you about Purpose University. Purpose University is going to open in July. And we're already taking entries. Now, for you to be a member of Purpose University, there's a 5 video combo that you need to purchase. That video combo goes for 25,000 naira, less than $100 actually, maybe about 70 something dollars. When you purchase that video, we will release them across a number of days, over a number of days to you for you to study. But even before we release the video, the moment you sign up and you pay your 25,000 naira into the designated account, we will send you a book, my book Destiny Navigational Application, which is the toolkit for this work that we are doing. So when you get that book, you begin to work with it, and then we begin to release the videos to you. When you finish the video, we will add you to a special group online where we now begin to teach. And for you to continue to remain in the Purpose University, every month you have a subscription amount of 3,000 that you should pay. I look forward to having you at Purpose University. Please share the good news. It's coming to you at a really affordable investment so that you can become all that you want to be. Don't forget to register for the return of the Helper Conference. I'll be looking forward to seeing you. Till next week when I come your way again, don't forget that when you discover purpose, you become powerful. My name is Bidemi Mark-Mordi, and may God bless you.
Thank you for listening to Nevertheless. For more information and resources, call 0813-360-2883 or send an email to bidemi@bidemimarkmordi.com. Don't forget that when you discover your purpose, you will live powerful.